Hey guys, Dreadbean joined by Sapphire. This is a series between KJH, who is playing the pink Terran for this game, and Pinder, the green Protoss. Now, the first game is on Jungle Basin, so Sapphire, what are we in store for?
Yeah, this is from the King of the Hill Australasia series, which Dell organises. This is a interesting tournament, weekly tournament. Basically, is exactly how it sounds. The winner plays on every week, and it's a best of seven. So right now, the reigning champion coming into this week is Pinder, having beat Hectic in the first King of the Hill series. Now this is the second series, and it's on an interesting map. It's Jungle Basin, which we haven't seen too much of. It's one of the new maps that came out with the release, so it's not beta maps like Steps and uh, all those Blistering Sands and Metalopolis and all those maps we see over and over and over again. So it's an interesting map. You've got I like to think it's a nice clean map. It's got this nice open expansion. It's right off your ramp. It's on the way from your base to the opponent, and then you've got these obvious Zelnagas in the middle, which form a nice little narrow choke area, and then there's the nice clean expansions in the middle, which you can take as an aggressive third, or you can take the thirds down on the sides there. It actually, for those who played Starcraft 1 back in the day, it looks like you take a tiny slice out of the map Green Valleys and then play a 1 versus 1 on it. And I was always a big fan of that map. So yeah, it's a nice clean map, and we haven't seen much of it. So interesting to find out what we're going to see out of this. There is the little bit of a nuisance for Terran is this second ramp coming into your expansion, but this has got the destructible rocks on the backside, so that's kind of protected there. It just changes the dynamic a bit, makes it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, really excited about this matchup because KJH is one of, if not the best Terran players in Australia, and Pinder is right up there with Az, saying one of the best Protoss in Australia. So yeah, big matchup and looking forward to it.
This map is also green, just to point out an obvious thing. I'm very happy to see a different colored map too, so that's a small thing for me, just to see all these new maps in the beta. But very standard thing so far. There's a Marine coming out, so there you go. This probe is not going to have much more scouting. So far it's just a gateway into cybernetics core, so nothing too crazy. KJH finding all this out with his SCV, so they both know that there's nothing too crazy, no proxy pylons, no barracks anywhere. It's insane. So I'll have to sit tight to see if these guys have any crazy strategies for this map, because it is, of course, a new one.
Yeah, good thing here for Pinder. Nice little probe micro there, keeping it alive, getting that away from that Marine. So he is going to pick up the information, pick up this TEP flag. Somehow this probe is still avoiding this Marine. So interesting that KJH didn't delay the tech lab going down while he's trying to deny this scout. So interested to see whether he's going to throw down more tech after this probe is denied, because right now Pinder is picking up all this information. Meanwhile, KJH is doing the same, just being chased around by a Zealot. It's a little bit harder to deny until this Stalker comes out, and we've seen that Chrono Boost being burnt on that Stalker just to deny that scout. So, especially from Pinder's point of view, he doesn't throwing down that fast cybernetics core. Interesting to see whether he's going to throw down more gateways and transition into a ground build, or possibly throw up a tech-based build with a faster robotics facility. He's just denying that scout now, so now I believe we will see more buildings coming out for Pinder, who does have a little bit of minerals saved up here, so he's nudging up against minerals, just pumping out a few stalkers here. So he may think about coming in really, really early, considering he's only up against a couple of Marauders at the moment, so no Reaper or any tricky business, looking like a standard opening. KJH taking the nice expansion that's protected by these rocks here, which is a nice feature of this map, and looks like Pinder even thinking about the same, saving up minerals, and there is the Nexus going down. So both players throwing down a reasonably fast expansion here, which is just, thanks to these destructible rocks, is really, really easy to do on this map. You can defend your choke, and then you've got your wide open expansion that's nicely defended, unless you're a Zerg player, and then of course you can't defend this ramp as well. But no, looking like infantry build coming out for KJH. He throws down 2 barracks here, so he's looking at 3 racks, possibly into a 3 racks 1 factory build. And just looking at Pinder, looking fairly macro orientated at this point. He's just getting that expansion line, second gas, finally getting a Twilight Council and more gateways. So despite building up those initial forces, he's really delayed getting those extra gateways and those tech buildings online until his expansion is starting to kick along. So both players looking to settle in for the macro.
I would like to see with a bunch of these stalkers out, just research being Blink being researched, because you can of course sneakily, if he can get in, jump across the chasms across these expansions. So if the Terran player gets too worried about his main, he can just blink in there. But I mean, that's a small thing. It's really a mass if he can do that. But yeah, we'll just have to sit tight, wait for these guys to get into their game plan, because there's just more barracks and more gateways going down. So Templar Archives now going down for Pinder, of course. So we'll see some Templars. We'll see some of that business going down. So yeah, we'll have to sit tight.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Very, very fast Templar Archive, so we could see some Storm, which would be super useful against this Marine build. But KJH recognizing the situation, realizing that this Pinder's got his own expansion up at the same time, starting to push out with a decent build up of Marines and Marauders here. And he's gone so heavy infantry, he can't let Pinder sit on Templar Archives for too long, especially if he gets that Psystorm upgrade reasonably quickly. And he got that second assimilator pretty fast, and now he's got 4 gas pumping out, which KJH is a little bit behind in the gas count because he's sticking to this infantry build. But by the same token, he's got the second orbital command on, so he's going to be able to pump out so many mules. And just looking at the income difference, that mule advantage, despite being 4 harvesters behind, his income is up by 400, which is that nice mule boost. And whereas Pinder is really up in the gas production, so seeing a bit of a gas versus mineral bonanza going on here. Looking like KJH is using this map to his advantage, though, going for these destructible rocks, which Pinder probably does not see. Oh yes, he can see the rockets coming out of the Marauders there, so he'll see this rocks going down. He'll need to move his forces to the side to try and defend it. He is still in position, so I'm not sure if he's reacting in time just yet. Looks like these destructible rocks are going to go down with completely no defense. This pylon is probably going to be sniped as well. Pinder might be caught a little bit off guard here. He's going to have to move his army all the way from this ramp back to his expansion. Looking like stim going off for KJH. He's going to barbecue a bunch of drones. More Marines and Marauders coming in. Still no reaction from Pinder, who's hanging out at his main. Probably waiting for that
here? Look at this.
Waiting for his Psystorm to finish before he engages. Finally reacting. So looks like he might even lose his Nexus. KJH might suicide to get the Nexus down. No, he pulls out. There's the Psystorm. So Pinder was waiting for the Psystorm. And another Psystorm going off, but that Nexus almost going down, and a bunch of probes being lost. So, bit of a delayed reaction there from Pinder, who was waiting for that Psystorm, but he didn't evacuate his probes, so I'm not sure if I agree with that decision.
Yeah, that was just crazy to just watch him just